What's going on Facebook or YouTube? RDAP Dan here, Federal Prison Time Consulting. We are officially on our 3,000 mile journey from Spokane, Washington to sunny Palm Beach, Florida. Hope you guys are having a great day. We just got on the road about an hour and a half ago. Drove up you guys. Well, I got a little internet connection here as we're driving through Montana. It's beautiful. I wish there was an option like on Facebook Live where you could reverse the camera. But I don't need to kill us. And tried to spin it around. How's everybody doing today? Today I got its 5-year anniversary, Shelly told me today. 5 years ago today, the feds and the DEA were raiding the pain clinic. This is the day that I originally got arrested in Atlanta, Georgia. And I was really bitching and complaining about this drive, going, oh man, I don't want to get up and... I've got a car, you guys saw the thumbnail. I'm towing my car. This truck doesn't go over 50 miles an hour when you're going up any kind of a hill. And it's nothing but hills and mountains. So I was bitching and complaining about that, and then Shelly calls me, and she's actually driving in front of me in her car with the animals. She said, hey babe, happy anniversary. Anniversary? What are you talking about? 5 years ago today is the day we got raided at the pain clinic. So, when you put it in that kind of perspective, I am very, very grateful to be on a cross-country road trip doing something, and it's not like I have to do this. I'm not moving because I couldn't make it where I was at. I'm moving because I have outlived and surpassed where I'm at, and now it's time to go to the next step and get back to South Florida, kick this thing into the next gear. We've had an amazing 2 years. Last year was awesome. This year has already superseded last year. So we were like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's go back to Florida. Yes, it's more expensive. Yes, it's going to take on a lot more risk. But without risk, there's no reward. And we got to say goodbye to some awesome friends. We got to go say goodbye to Shelly's mom and her dad and her stepmother. I've got some awesome clients in South Florida. Washington, Ryan and Kimmy. It was Kimmy's birthday, so the day before we left on Friday, we went out with her and her family. They rented basically a big party bus that they rented for her birthday, and we went to their house. They've got this beautiful house. We went there first, and we all had a little bite to eat, a couple drinks, and then we hit the town. We had a good time. It was a great send-off for everybody. Now we've got this long drive ahead. Trucker Dan. So I gotta use my trucker accent. RDAP Dan here. Riding the open road. I know it's early for a lot of you guys. Why is RDAP Dan on so early today? Because I absolutely have nothing else to do. And who knows when I'm going to have internet connection again. So I thought I would check in with you guys. CJ, he's still in Washington. He's at we've got a small office in Washington. It's like a little two-man hovel. So he'll be holding the fort down while I'm on the road. So if you guys need anything, please do not hesitate. Send CJ an email if you need him. CJ@rdapdan.com. And of course, I'll be available mostly by phone, text, and email. I've been listening to podcasts most of the ride. NPR's I've got the iHeartRadio app on my phone. So I was able to listen to iHeartRadio, NPR News. Keeps me up to date so I don't miss a beat. What's everybody else got going on for Memorial Day weekend? Anything fun and fantastic going on in your world? I gotta wear sunglasses because the sun is blasting me. Let's see some thumbs up in here. We got 2 so far. Anybody here do a cross-country road trip yet? And if you did, tell me about it. Did you enjoy it? I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of like the first 30 minutes. I'm really only a fan of stopping and getting coffee. That's what I live for in the mornings. I wake up in the morning and I just have coffee on my mind. And I don't know why. It's like the first sip gives you the energy. The sun's coming out. Maybe it's going to be a pretty day. It's been raining all morning. We're at Three Forks. That's the exit we're passing, in case you guys are wondering where I'm at. We're in Montana right now, though. Saw some amazing creeks and rivers. I wish I could see those messages, guys. I can't see them, though. But I'll be able to read them later when I recap the live chat. Pauline, what's going on? How long is it going to take you to get... I think you said how long is it going to take you to get to Florida? Well, it's 3,000 miles. The U-Haul truck towing my car only allows me to do about 50 miles an hour. I mean, when I'm going downhill, I can get going pretty decent, but on a straight road and uphill, I'm getting about 50 to 60 miles an hour. We've got our dogs with us. They're in Shelly's car with the 2 cats. So we can't really drive longer than, I'm going to say 10 to 13 hours tops. We can let the dogs out anywhere to go to the bathroom. However, the cats, we have to rent a hotel to bring the cat box in because you can't just let the cats out, they'll take off. So the cats are in a cage in the car, so we don't want to torture them too bad. So I imagine it's probably, we left yesterday, we only drove about 5 hours yesterday because we left pretty late to get on the road. So I imagine we'll probably be in Florida Tuesday at some point. Worst case scenario, Wednesday. And then we got to go pick up our keys to move in. But we are excited, I'll tell you that. This is not a tuck your tail between your legs and run back home kind of a move. This is we're way too fucking comfortable where we're at right now. We got to push ourselves. We got to raise the limits. We got to go where the economy is booming. And South Florida, it just, the energy there, it's drawn me to it, guys. I can't explain it. It's like I'm being drawn to the light. And South Florida, it's kind of, you know, whenever you've been through something that's very traumatizing, you tend to want to avoid putting yourself through situations like that again. Clearly, I don't ever want to get in trouble and go back to prison. But because it happened in Florida, and there was just a lot of really rough patches in our life in Florida, that moving back to Florida, it's like we're going to face our demons, and at the same time, Florida's got so much to offer. It's such a beautiful, awesome place that we're going to go kill Florida. We're going to go light it on fire because the industry that I'm in, Florida is a great area for me to be in for connections, opportunity. The clients that we've had lately over the last year and a half, it's just everything has fallen into place. I feel so blessed, and I'm so grateful that God has put these opportunities in front of me. He said, here's the opportunities, RDAP Dan, what are you going to do with them? I'm pretty sure God doesn't call me RDAP Dan. That was kind of egotistical. But my point is I've made choices. I've had to deal with the consequences that I put myself into in life. And I realize now that everything that I do, when I have my conversations with God, it's no longer begging for mercy or begging to fix my life. It's just asking for the power to say, hey, whatever you're going to put in front of me, whatever obstacles I'm going to run into, just give me the strength and your spirit to get through it. Let me find the direction. I'll put in the work. I'll do whatever I'm required to do to make it happen. I'm not expecting anybody, including God, to fix my problems for me. But I know that if I have my trust in God, that He will allow me to take day by day and not bite off more than I can chew, especially when you're dealing with something that's extremely rough that many of you are going through right now, getting ready to possibly go to federal prison. You're thinking about all of these horrible situations, leaving your family. What are you going to do for work when you get out of prison? You got all of these thoughts that are going to take time to process and get through. And I can tell you guys that if you put in the work, if you put in the effort, and you realize you got to do one day at a time, you got to put one foot in front of the other foot. You got to prepare. Yes, that doesn't mean just sit in your house and don't think about anything. You got to prepare for what's coming next. But you got to realize that if you're getting lost in the dwelling thought of negativity, you're not going to be able to do anything to get through tomorrow. And if you can't get through tomorrow, and you're already thinking about what you're going to do after prison and all of this, you're putting the cart way before the horse. Right now, you should be thinking about how much hard work and effort am I willing to put into narratives, my character reference letters? Am I going to try to qualify for RDAP, the Residential Drug Addiction Program? What prisons has the program? How long is my potential sentence going to be? Is that going to be long enough to even take a program? And if it is long enough to take a program, when do these next classes start? When am I, there's so many different moving parts that you guys need to get up on right now. The only way you can do that is really taking this serious, putting in your homework, putting in the time, putting in the effort, reaching out to people like me. Unfortunately, my number is not on the screen right now because we're doing a live stream. But any of you can call me, 509-434-4695. Text me, email me. You can email me at dan@rdapdan.com. Come check us out on the internet, rdapdan.com. You just got to remember, it's one day at a time. That's the whole motto here. And I'll tell you, right now, for a lot of you, you feel like it's never going to get better. You feel like this is going to be the worst thing that's ever happened to you. And for a moment, it might be. You would have told me 5 years ago that what happened to me was going to set the stage for the absolute best opportunity of my entire life to not only provide for my family, but to be able to really have passion about something that I love to do. And I never knew that anything like this would ever exist for myself. So when I say that I'm blessed, and I've been bestowed with this awesome opportunity that really does come with a great level of responsibility. The individuals that put their trust and effort, really they're putting their lives in my hand to an extent. They're trusting me to guide them down a path that they've never been down before, and they're trusting me to guide them down the best course possible that's going to yield the best possible result for them without causing them extra stress, without putting them in harm's way. And that, as you've seen, there's some other individuals out there in the industry that don't do things that way. I imagine for a lot of you, this is extremely scary because you're giving up control to somebody else that you don't know. So giving up control to a prison consultant is a big deal. That's why I say do your homework, do your due diligence. Don't just hire the first person that sounds great on the phone, that has a bunch of flashy bells and whistles. I had a conversation with a guy last week. They ended up just hiring us. I was actually sitting in the bank while I was talking to him. I was closing out one of our accounts to transfer to Florida. And I've spoken to his wife several times. She had quite a few qualifying questions. Then he called me. He had a good list of qualifying questions. And to me, that's what makes a good client. You guys always say, well, what makes a good prison consultant? Well, really, the better the client, the better the prison consultant, because the more questions you have, the better prepared that you're going to be understanding what direction we're going to go. Because you're not just hiring us blind and then expecting us to fix everything. You've got a direction, you know what you want to achieve, and you understand what role that a consultant can play in helping you achieve those goals and those outcomes. So if your goal, at the end of the day, if you say, my goal is to serve the least amount of time in the best possible location, you got to ask yourself, well, what does that mean? How do you get there? How do you serve the least amount of time? It's easy to say, I want the shortest sentence possible, or possibly no prison at all. I understand that's what everybody wants, but you have to dig down deep and say, okay, if that's what you really want, how are you going to achieve that? What are the moving parts? That's where an engaging conversation with myself and you and your family can really go a long way, because it can start to build out the roadmap. Even if you don't decide to hire us, it can start putting some blueprints in front of you to give you a direction of where this spider web can go, to help you save some time from taking courses and journeys through a very bumpy terrain that could have been avoided. Just keep that in mind when you're thinking about what you're going to do next. And if you're in the state of mind that, I got this, I don't need anybody's help, there's nothing a prison consultant's going to do that I'm not going to be able to do on my own. It's highly unlikely, and I think that's a self-defeating thought. I think that's egotistical, that's cocky, and it's probably going to land you in not the best case of scenarios, because there really are many moving parts, and unless you've been through this or you have some good intel as to what to do, and trust me, there's a lot of bad intel out there. There's a lot of misinformation, there's a lot of lacking of information, there's a lot of manipulated information. A lot of people will give you the information they want you to have because it guides you to a funnel that creates wealth for them, which is great for a business model. But when you're dealing with people that are anxiety-ridden, fear, just riddled with fear, thoughts of suicide, thoughts of fleeing, sleepless nights, to me that's the wrong standard, that's the wrong business practice to implement into this industry. This industry should be surrounded around putting out valuable information at very little cost or no cost when you're talking about content, providing somebody with peace of mind, providing somebody with the ability to realize this isn't going to be the end of the road. This is not going to be the situation that defines you for the rest of your life, unless you want it to be. This very well could be the situation that defines you, but you've got choices. Just like you got choices that led you to this very unforeseen circumstance that many of you are finding yourself in right now. Now that you're here, you're going to have new choices that are going to present themselves with new forks in the road. They're going to give you left and right options. And if you keep making additional horrible options, you'll be presented with new forks. Each fork could be your way out, but each time you go deeper, deeper, deeper into the world of negativity, the world of making poor choices, it's going to take you a little longer to get back out of it. So you're at a point right now, many of you, where you have decisions that you really are going to be pivotal in the remainder of your journey, going through the BOP, federal courts, dealing with the prosecutors. You got choices that you can choose now that may be hard and frustrating now, but they're going to be the path of less resistance that's going to get you where this thing 3,000-mile road after prison, life is great, things are better for me than they've ever been in my entire life. I'm making a calculated choice, calculated decisions. I'm thinking about what I want to do next, and I'm putting pieces into play that are sprouting like bamboo shoots that I'm so blessed and so fortunate to have. And it's because of people like you, because of subscribers like you. Sounds like a PBS special. So that's all. I just wanted to share day 2 with you guys on this 3,000 journey from Spokane, Washington to sunny Palm Beach, Florida. Just remember, guys, one day at a time. People helping people. Community is method. I love every single one of you, and I will check in soon. You guys have a great day. If you need anything, for those of you that are clients, give CJ a jingle or give him an email. CJ at RDAP Dan or 509-434-4695.